Hello, welcome to the channel if you're new here. If you've been here before, which I highly doubt, because I have very few subscribers, I thank you for coming back. I'm today going to be building a cover for this creeper farm I made on a server a while back. This cover is going to be sort of like not a skyscraper, but a slightly tall tower. It's going to be built out of brick, granite, and andesite. That's the block palette. And it's just to make my industrial area with farms look nice instead of, all technical and built for functionality alone. Right here, I am building the collection system where it's going to be sending a hopper minecart and it checks the contents of it to see if it's full. If it is, it'll send it into the collection system, which you'll see soon. And here I'm going to start working on the foundation. Unfortunately, when I did build this foundation, I built it just one block too close to the farm because as it's a foundation, I wanted to build it one block out from the rest of the wall. So I did end up having to destroy it, take it down, and then redo it, which didn't take too long, but it was a bit of a hassle. So as you can see here, I'm taking it back down, and I'm just going to rebuild it to match what I wanted out of the build. Here, I'm actually going to be starting the first wall, which took a little bit longer than the rest of the walls, just because I was building it from scratch. I had to figure out what I wanted to do, but it didn't take that long. It maybe about an hour to really figure out what I was going to do. I decided to use black concrete behind glass panes so that I could still get the depth of glass panes, because I can't use tinted glass because they don't have panes, and that way it still kept light from entering the farm. And I thought it worked quite well. I used white stained glass panes, or I think they were gray glass panes, because they hid the black a little bit better, just made it look a little more natural, rather than completely clear glass, which would have just shown black and it would have looked a little weird. And here I'm doing a bit of a divide between each floor of the wall, where I'll put andesite stairs between each section, just so that it looks a little more, instead of flat, like there's a bit of depth and there's layers to the build. Here, I'm going to start work on wall number 2. It didn't take quite as long as the first wall, but it still took a bit of time because I was just figuring out how to copy the first design. Other than that, it went quite smoothly. I put up the windows first, and those were just pretty easy once I figured out how to do them. And then everything went up smoothly from there. Now, after this third wall, I moved on to the outshoot section that was to cover the collection area. I thought I was going to have a little more trouble with this just because it was different from the rest of the build, but it ended up being quite okay, and I think it looks nice. The fourth wall here, it ended up being just fine. It was asymmetrical, of course, on the bottom layer, but the rest of it was, I think, pretty symmetrical. Then I built the roof, and I think that looks really nice. and I moved on to building the AFK area, which was 128 blocks above the rest of the farm. That way creepers spawned, and mobs under the farm didn't spawn. So it worked really well. I collect a lot of gunpowder. I'd say if I AFK overnight, it collects probably about 4 double chests of, maybe even 6 double chests of gunpowder, and it works really well. You can see it in action here. Here, unfortunately, you can see the collection minecart was full of miscellaneous items, which led it to not be a full stack, which means that when the comparator tried to read the minecart, it said that it was still empty, even though it wasn't, which means that it never dropped its contents off in the chest. So it was full this entire first AFK session, meaning it collected no gunpowder. I got nothing from this. But that's fine, it was only about 30 minutes of AFK, and so not much time lost. Other than that, the farm worked incredibly well. You can even see how many creepers are spawning. It is so many. Overall, great success. Okay, well, here is the final product, finally done. I was super happy to build it. Honestly, it was one of my best in this area. I have quite a few things in this industrial area, but I still have yet to build a lot of them. So, thank you very much for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed. And I will see you guys in the next time-lapse or video I make on this server. But it really is a great server. And yeah, thank you. Thank you very much for watching. Bye-bye. Oops, one more thing, forgot to mention. I kind of wanted to show off this build. It's pretty cool. It's just some more homey style houses of that I built. Since then, it just kind of was a palette cleanser, you know. Since I was working on industrial stuff, I got to work on a more naturalistic build. I like this backdrop hill. I don't usually do nature, so this was nice to work on. I even made a little campsite, and it kind of leads up perfectly into the rest of the village, which is up here. And I think it looks pretty nice. And it kind of divides well, too. But hopefully I can add more of these ground details to the rest of the village. For now, this is good. It was even my first diagonal build. Never done that before. But I think it turned out quite well. So thank you very much for watching. And I will see you guys next time. See ya!